Tonight on John Cena Naked Live, James Gunn tries to clarify the connection to the DCEU and the DCU when it comes to Peacemaker Season 2. We'll break that down a little bit, as well as other things that he's been saying and other pictures he's been posting. Oscars recap. Holy crap, is there a lot to talk about when it comes to the Oscars last night, from, yes, naked John Cena to Gosling's performance of I'm Just Ken. Box office. Sadly, Dune Part 2 was not at the top of the box office, but it's still doing pretty good. Rebel Moon, baby. We got Zack Snyder talking about Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver, and a new image of Sophie Boutella. All that and so much more tonight on Film Junkee Live. Would you go on one of the biggest stages naked like John Cena did? And I was asking myself that very question last night. Yes. Yes, I would.
It's lights out! Now you want to get nuts! Come on! Let's get nuts.
Hello, everybody. What's happening? Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button right at the start there, but welcome to Film Junkee Live on your Monday, the end of Monday. It is March 11th. Jeez, I'm like, what day is it? I don't even know what day it is anymore. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, do all that. Please subscribe, all that. And of course, you know, I'm trying to, reason why I had a little mess up too, I was also, because I'm trying to get at that, the streaming on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. So hopefully that's all doing fine and dandy, but should be okay. I think we're all right. Let's double check and make sure everything's good. Everything should be good. Oh, crap. Hold on. Oh, no, wait. I got it open. Come on. Where's it at? There we are. There we are. I think we're good. Are we good? Okay, there we go. All right, we're good. We're good. All right. Just making sure, because trying to do the whole multi-stream thing when it comes to that, trying to get it on there. Anyways, all right, hopefully you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and see who's out there. All right. Okay, don't have the chat up. Of course, Jace, the Mondays. It's the Mondays. What's going on there? James, good to see ya. All right, good to see ya. Yes, I did watch the Oscars, and of course, we're going to talk about it. Lots to talk about when it comes to the Oscars. Yeah, I went to my mom's, went to Mama Film Junkie's house. And, you know, she made dinner, and, you know, we had some munchies and stuff like that. It was good. It was great. What's going on, Eric? So I guess we're in a universe where clarifications make it more confusing. At this point, I could use a drink. I didn't think that Peacemaker was going to make it that confusing, to be honest. That's what we'll talk about, too, though. Lisa, what is happening, everyone? The weather is perfect, and all I could say is Keaton is the GOAT. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that, too. You know, Keaton making an appearance last night, which was awesome. Let's get that music back. All right, maybe not. There we go. And we got Snyder Bros right here. Hello from Las Vegas. Another person from Vegas. Can't wait for Rebel Moon Part 2. Also can't wait for the marketing to start. Yeah, well, it's kind of doing it, which we're going to talk about right now. What's going on, Axel? Good to see you. We got Shane right here. Weekend wasn't bad. You know, like I said, I didn't do much but, you know, work on things, watched movies, and like I said, went to my mom's. That's all I really did this weekend, you know. Can't complain. What's going on, Lane? Yeah, long time no see, right? Yeah, well, I saw you on the Instagram feed on the Vodka stream. We got Jeff the Echo Stepco. How do gay horses eat? Hey! Ba-dum-bum. I like it. I like it. Tet, what is happening? Good to see you. All right. We got Darkness Under the Wind right here. What is up? What is up? And of course, we got Mr. Jason, of course, being an awesome dude right there. I'll get to that right in a little bit. We got Brendan right here. What is happening? Good to see ya. All right, JD McRae, what's up? Dave, your Monday. Oh, yeah, Monday's not bad. Like I said, it's just you know. I woke up a little. I didn't sleep in, but I woke up later than I usually did because I was like, you know what? Hey, whatever. Cortez. You need to watch. Yeah, you do need to watch Oppenheimer. I mean, come on. And then, thank you, sir. If I had a drink right now, I'd raise it up to you. But you know, you know how it is there, Mr. Jason. Thank you, sir, for the $50 super chat, helping out that pirate ship. Every little bit helps, guys, for sure. And that definitely helps. Put it right back into the channel. Love it, love it, love it, love it. You got Clay Talon, interesting. A lot of people seem to want to paint RDJ as evil after he accepted the award. Yeah, we'll talk about that too, because yeah, you know, people are different when they accept awards. Max, hey Dave, did you see the Oscars 2024? John Cena got naked. Yeah, and we're gonna talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Hey, Stephanie T is here. Good to see you, of course. Of course. Let's see who else we got. Anybody else new? Yeah. All right. I think we're good. All right. And like I said, guys, subscribe to the channel. Do all that. And yeah, we got lots to talk about. Yeah, like I said, the weekend was good. It was pretty chill. Watched some movies. You know what movie I watched last night? And I actually recommend it. It's on Netflix right now. It's called Voyagers. It's got Colin Farrell. It's got Ty Sheridan. It's got Lily Depp, you know, Johnny Depp's kid. Not a bad movie. Not a bad little space future movie. I watched that last night. And kind of, you know, when you watch that movie, you go, yeah, humanity kind of sucks. You know, when you watch that movie and how it plays out. And I won't give any more details, but I'm just saying it has a lot. It gives a look at the way humanity is, I guess you could say, when it comes to that movie. But yeah, check out that movie. Definitely, that was like one of the movies that I watched over the weekend that wasn't a movie I've already seen. Like I put on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I put on Blade Runner 2049. Of course, I watched Poor Things before, you know, so that was also a new movie, but of course I'll talk about that when we get to the Oscar segment right there. But of course, we're going to be talking about DCU, Superman, Peacemaker, all that stuff. We're going to be talking about that, of course, and then we'll recap the Oscars, talk about the box office, and then of course we got some Rebel Moon right there. But yeah, that was, but yeah, give Voyagers a try. You know, it's on Netflix if you have it, and you like that kind of space, kind of look at human beings kind of movie. Check that one out. And then I watched Elysium again, which that movie doesn't get enough praise. That does not give enough praise. It does not. You know. A lot of people, when I posted that, a lot of people online were actually going like, you know, retweeting it and responding to it. A lot of people responded to that tweet. It's like, yeah, Elysium just does not get enough praise for, and I'm trying to think of the director, and I'm totally blanking right now. Somebody in the chat, help me out here. Obviously, District 9, the first movie, and then, of course, you know, recently he did Gran Turismo. But yeah, I'm totally just blanking on his name right now. So, but yeah. I watched Elysium, and you know, it's just that just not enough appreciation when it comes to sci-fi and that movie. Neil Blomkamp, thank you, Gilmore, right there. There you go. I appreciate that. Yes, Neil Blomkamp. Brain just totally went like, yeah, it's like I knew because I like him, but then yeah, my brain just went ugh right now. So always fun when that happens. Anyways, all right, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. We'll get into some tweets. And then, you know, I mean, it is kind of funny because I even said this after the second weekend that this movie came out, and of course, it's just not going to go away. And you know, I kind of don't want it to go away because I want Sony to be exposed for what they did to this movie, and that of course is Madame Web. And Madame Web, of course, there was not one, but two jokes that happened last night at the Oscars when it came to Madame Web. It was kind of funny. I was like, wow. Two jokes at the Oscars when it came to Madame Web. And we've been talking about some of the things, obviously, Sydney Sweeney making that joke with her Saturday Night Live monologue, which I thought was good. And then we have Dakota Johnson, of course, and I talked about this on the Vox stream where she had a big, huge, long quote, basically just talking about how the industry is right now, which I thought that was good, even though it's like, hey, Dakota, even though, like, yeah, I get it, like, that wasn't the movie you signed up for, but still, your performance probably would have not been different. And now we got a rumor right here, and this is according to the Daily Mail, so take it with a huge grain of salt, naturally, but this is the rumor right here. Sony is rumored to be unhappy about Dakota Johnson constantly dragging Madam Web. Lots of people at Sony are questioning her star power and how she reacted to this failure will likely come back to haunt her. Says Insider. Turn that off. Says Insider. Now, like, again, who knows if that's even true? It seems like, maybe they want to brush it under the carpet right there. But I mean, this is both Sony and Dakota Johnson's fault. That's the thing. It's like, Sony, you still cast her, and I don't think she was going to give you the performance that you wanted when it came to this movie. But then at the same time, like, anytime that I have William on and he talks about it, it's like, yeah, they can. It's like Sony has been like, you know what? We can make these B-roll Marvel movies and somehow still make money off of them. It's so weird because we still have 2 more that are coming out. We have the whole Morbius thing, and now we have Venom 3, which that has made money. That franchise has made money. And then, of course, we got whatchamacallit that's coming out to Damn, my brain is not working right now. My brain is not working right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And yeah, it's like, okay, okay, so help me out here, guys. Jesus Christ, my brain is not working right now. Craven, Jesus Christ. I was like, I saw the K and I'm telling you, I don't know. Maybe I did not get that as much sleep last night as I thought I did. But yes, Craven is the fact that's like that one they're actually leaning into the R rating when it comes to that movie. So it's like, okay, cool. Maybe that'll actually help it. Who knows? It seems like they should have did that with Morbius, but I don't know. It just seems like Sony is just like kind of going like, all right, when it comes to these kind of Marvel movies right here, it's like, wow, we're just going to lean into it and just continue to just ride the coattails of Marvel Studios. I don't know. Amy Pascal, she's a little crazy. She's a little weird. I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, all right. Hey, we got Mama Film Junkee in the live chat right there. Get ready for him to eat someone's feces. What? I don't know if I want to see that. He's going to eat someone's feces? That's pretty interesting. Oh, come on. I was going to pull up a drop. Yeah, it's still not working. Some of this stuff's still not working on my stream deck here. Yeah. All right, we're good. Anyway, so there you go. So there's that whole Madam Web. Possible more drama when it comes to that. Who knows if it's even true. Take it with a huge grain of salt. And let's see, what else do we want to look at here? Okay, so yeah, let's keep on the Sony train right here. Let's keep on the Sony train when it comes to their universe. Sony, what are you doing? What is Sony? What are you doing? And what are you doing when you have these A-listers that are part that you could use in your universe? What are you doing here? Because now we got Michael Keaton talking to him because he's been talking a lot lately. He's been on some podcasts praising Beetlejuice, I guess we can call it, but Beetlejuice 2, and hopefully we're going to be getting that trailer soon. And of course, her and Catherine O'Hara presented last night on the Oscars, which was nice to see. It was great to see, and it was great seeing, of course, Keaton. And then, of course, there's another thing. Again, we'll get to the Oscars portion where it's like Keaton did something pretty cool last night, of course. But Michael Keaton talking about that Morbius post-credit scene. That's right. That Morbius post-credit scene that a lot of people were just kind of going, what is actually happening here when it comes to having Vulture show up in Morbius? Here's the quote right here. They couldn't quite explain it, you know? Oh, come on. This stupid thing is just not working today. Nothing's working today. My brain and my stream deck not working. All right. But it's like what? Because yeah, the scene didn't make sense. And of course they're trying to do that whole thing with which was happening with Spider-Man No Way Home and all the multiversal stuff and everything, and it was just like he just shows I don't know. It like even when it went I don't know. But they don't even know, like, they couldn't even explain it to the actual actor. It's like, what are you doing? Exactly are you doing? And he's a great villain. He's a great villain in the Spider-Man universe. He was great when it came to that in the car with Peter Parker and him realizing that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. That was one of the best like interactions between the hero and the villain in the MCU. And you're going to screw that up, Sony? Don't screw it up, please. Don't screw it up. It's Michael freaking Keaton. Come on. Michael freaking Keaton. So he doesn't even know what the hell is going on when it comes to that. There you go. So more things when it comes to Sony's, just whole thing right there. All right. Okay, so let's obviously we're going to talk more about the Oscars right here, but yes, cuz somebody, people in the chat were saying that Robert Downey Jr., the way that he accepted his award, there was a lot of people online that were not too happy with him when it came to him just grabbing the award from Ke Huy Quan, and everybody thought that was disrespectful and stuff like that. And yeah, at first it was like, oh yeah, it's not good, but it's okay, guys, because look at this right here. We got plenty of pictures. Yes, here's the video right here. And he's just like, he just kind of grabs it and is just like, huh. But you got to realize the euphoria and everything that is going on in Robert Downey Jr.'s head. I mean, of course, when it came to Cillian Murphy like shook everybody's hand. But everybody reacts differently. But don't worry, because there is still plenty of respect right there with images, with them two, arm over the shoulder, smiling, hugging. Everything's okay, guys. Everything is quite okay, okay? So, yeah. That was part of the controversy that happened at the Oscars yesterday, which is like, how dare Robert Downey Jr.? But it's like, I think it's okay. Sometimes, just in the moment, you don't know how you react. That's happened to all of us. We're human beings. Sometimes the way that we react to overwhelming circumstances, you just don't react the way that maybe not everybody else would react. And yeah, so he just kind of grabbed the statue, but it's all good. Those images, when I saw that, I was like, thank you. I was glad to see those images, because even I went like, oh, is there more? And I think even behind the stage when they were like walking, I think he was even walking with him and also just had his arm over his shoulder. So it's okay. It's okay. Let's not throw Robert Downey Jr. under the bus quite yet here. I think it's all good. It's definitely all good. And then now, let's see what else. Let's see. We got a couple of more tweets right here. We got some art. All right, let's go over some, speaking of Oscars, more controversy when it comes to the Holdovers. Did you guys see this that happened over the weekend? I haven't seen the Holdovers yet. I've seen clips and, of course, the trailers, and eventually I'll watch it because, obviously, the praise that it was getting. And it was kind of interesting because when it came to Paul Giamatti, a lot of people thought that maybe he would actually get the Oscar for Best Actor. That's the thing, the Best Actor and Best Actress, it was like kind of down to the wire there, because there was kind of like a back and forth through award season when it came to Paul Giamatti and Cillian Murphy, just like when it came to Lily Gladstone and Emma Stone. So it was kind of interesting. But apparently, oh boy, we got some controversy right here. The Holdovers has been accused of plagiarism by writer Simon Stevenson, who wrote Paddington 2. Stevenson had a script named Frisco, which followed a world-weary children's doctor and the 15-year-old patient he gets stuck looking after. Alexander Payne had read the script. Oh, boy. That's not good. And apparently there are 38 things that are the exact same to his script, to the Holdover script. Yeah, apparently in this lawsuit that's happening, or maybe the lawsuit, or at least the document that was out there, there was like 38 things that were pretty much the same to his script and the Holdover script. Now, where is this going to go? Probably nowhere. They're probably just going to throw some money at him and say, fuck off, go away. We don't want you here. Please do not wreck this whole thing. Please. No. That's probably what's going to happen. They're probably just going to throw some money at him, get it out of the way. But it's just kind of funny because all this like came out the day before the Oscars, which was very interesting. So now it's just, where is it going to go? I don't know. Haven't heard anything more, but this was on Variety. This wasn't just like some random publication or something like that. This was actually in Variety. So I don't know if there's going to be any more drama that happens to this, but I think, you know what? Paul Giamatti is going to take them out to In-N-Out. They're going to have a couple of double-doubles, some fries, and a milkshake, and then he's going to slip them, a briefcase full of money and say, please don't ever mention this ever again, okay? Just write something else. That's what's going to happen, right? That could be what's happening. I don't know. Who knows? Boop, boop. All right. I was just looking at something here. Okay, we're good. All right. So, yeah, drama for the Holdovers. Yeah, I still got to watch that. Definitely still got to watch that movie. One of these days I'll get to it. All right. All right, let's look at this right here because, well, I don't, what is happening right here? I want to know because obviously when it comes to Tron Ares, I'm curious. Jared Leto starring, seems like the other cast seems pretty good, but we have like a set video of Jared Leto in the Tron costume just out and about and just kind of going like, all right, if you guys saw this, but here it is right here. I don't know what's happening right here. We don't need any volume, but there he is. I mean, out and about in front of a building, walking around in the costume. I mean, costume looks pretty cool. Looks like he can't really move his arms all that well, but maybe he can. I don't know. He's just kind of walking around. Not sure exactly what is happening. Things are happening on the inside. I don't know. They're shooting on the inside. I don't know. But there you go. And he's walking in. All right. So now they're filming it. So he's walking into there. There you go. So something's happening on the inside. Your guess is as good as mine. It's just kind of interesting. So I'm like, all right, because I thought maybe a majority of the movie would be within the, the Tron game or whatever the hell. It's so crazy how it still baffles my mind how we're just now getting the third Tron after how many freaking years? I mean, the first one was so amazing and so it's just evolved film and it doesn't get talked about enough, even though there is like an underground, fans that just love that movie. And then it took forever to get Tron Legacy. And now it seems like it took forever to get another Tron. Because like Tron Legacy was kind of like a mixed bag. It's like, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. But then it just didn't have the level of impact that maybe the first one did. I don't know. It's all pretty interesting. But yeah, there you go. There's Jared Leto walking around in his Tron Legacy costume. I'm just wondering, I just need more details. I just want more details of what's happening in this movie. And who's going to be showing up from the previous cast? Anybody? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Anyways, how we feeling out there? Were they filming? Yeah, they were filming something. So, what's going on, Kenneth? Good to see you. If Craven flops later this year, I think Sony may have to rethink their strategy entirely. But I don't know. It seems like they almost don't have to. What's going on, KZ Cinema? Good to see you. Box office draw, Jared Leto. I mean, he is a box office draw somewhat. It's weird because it seems like now actors who are well known, they're not as much of a box office draw as they once were. I will say that. It's not the same as it used to be. You hear that, Dwayne Johnson? Sorry. Couldn't help myself. I'll take that one, so. Yeah, anyways. Okay. Some of the drops are working. Cool. All right. So you guys want to see some... okay. You want to see a couple of sexy things? Let's look at a couple of sexy things right here, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Let's get a little sexy when it comes to the Film Junkee Live right now. We're going to have two things because, we got two ladies right here who are part of the DC universe. One is actually married to the guy who's running the whole show, and then one who's actually starring in one of his movies that, they decided to be like, hey, let's have a workout, and let's video record it. That's right. We got Miss Maria, and we got Miss Jennifer right here, of course, James Gunn's wife, and they are working out right here. All right, let's mute that. But look respectfully, guys, okay? Come on. We can, but there they are right there. Working out weights, doing some squat kind of things, sweating. Okay, yeah, fucking sweating. Using the medicine ball right there. Jesus Christ, they both have some guns, man. Guns and abs. All right. Yeah, look at that. And then, of course, doing some burpees and putting on and going on their elbows. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll say. Excuse me. I had that drop still on. But, yeah, look respectfully, guys, okay? Let's look respectfully. It's totally, you know. But, obviously we got Peacemaker Season 2, which we're going to be talking about. Of course, that Miss Jennifer is going to have to be working for. And then, of course, we have Maria right there. Faria. I always say her name wrong. But, yeah, they're working out right there. But, yeah, look respectfully. But, I mean, I can't help but say that it's, it's a pretty hot video, It's not bad. I mean, there's nothing wrong, a woman with some muscle tone, nothing wrong with that. I like that. I'm just saying. But the other sexiness that we're actually going to see too, that's not it, guys. That's not it. That's not all the sexiness we're going to see. We're going to see some, if you want to talk about sexiness and some awesomeness right here, well, let's look at Mr. Zack Snyder doing some cool shit right here. God, this thing is buggy. Zack Wick! Look at this.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
Good. Awesome run, Zack.
That was incredible. That was amazing.
That was fun.
You're like, that's fine. That was amazing. That was so cool.
That was a run.
That's good.
Ultimate badass right there, man. Doing some John Wick stuff. I mean, we saw something similar when Keanu Reeves did something like that when prepping for John Wick. Of course, he was doing it with like an AR, but I just thought that was badass. And am I... Okay, I was wondering about this because I've been seeing, because obviously it's like Zack's uniform has always been like the V-neck t-shirt, the white t-shirt V-neck. I think he's graduating to something different now because I was noticing that on Joe Rogan and even like other recent appearances when it came to him. I think he's changing his style a little bit. He's wearing a Henley right there with shorter sleeves, showing those guns. So I don't know. I'm just saying that's pretty freaking awesome right there. But yeah, even the instructor was like, "That's amazing." But yeah. I think Zack is changing it up a little bit, not just doing like the V-neck t-shirt anymore. I mean, he's wearing like a flat, you can see it right there. That is a Henley with shorter sleeves right there, showing the guns. There you go, Zack. Love it. Love it.
Shooter ready.
How we feeling about that, huh? How we feeling about that badassiness? Jennifer does, she does have guns. Let's see, what are we talking about here? What's poison? Somebody said poison? Am I not seeing that right there? Meow, 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 meow. Okay, just looking at some of the chat right there. Yeah, okay. Anyways, you guys talk amongst yourselves. Okay, and then I think that's pretty much almost it. Oh, no, there's a couple more things. All right, we'll do this one right here, but this was kind of controversial as well. So... Giancarlo Esposito. Everybody has been fan casting him to join the MCU as Professor X. And he gets this question asked a lot. And when he got asked about it on a podcast, he actually talked about how, he would actually be down to do it. And he even said, it would be cool if he was Professor X, if he was Xavier. And then, of course, when it comes to Magneto, he said, what if Denzel Washington was Magneto? Now, that would be pretty amazing. I'm not going to fight him on that one. That sounds like what? That's something that sounds like that would be pretty freaking awesome right there. 100%. Okay. But he had this to say right here, which I went, okay, maybe you should not be Xavier if you're going to be kind of approaching it like this. He wants to play Professor X without the wheelchair. The physical idea of being in a wheelchair every single day does not appeal to me. I just don't feel that old, and I don't like to sit that much. Well, Mr. Esposito, you when the director yells cut, you can stand up, stretch your legs, just kind of, you can get up out of the chair. But you have to realize, hey, Xavier in the wheelchair, it's kind of his thing. It's kind of part of his character. You're going to need to sit in that chair for a little bit. I mean, it's, I don't know. I mean, he was in that episode of Breaking Bad when, the whatchamacallit would ding, 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 and like the guy in the wheelchair or guy, that blew half his face off, maybe trauma. I don't know. But it's just like, yeah, that's kind of part of it right there. I don't know. It just, to me, I'm like, if you're not willing to sit in the chair, I mean, we got the cool, like, floating chair, like the X-Men animated, like floating chair. We got that in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and it was like, oh man, can we see some more of that? But yeah, it's just, it's kind of part of the character there, Mr. Giancarlo. It's fine. It's maybe not. Maybe he won't be. Maybe he won't be Xavier now. I don't know. But I just thought that was kind of interesting. He said that. And then I wanted to bring this up, because you know me, I love some Superman. Well, I love any kind of concept fan art. And a lot of these artists out there are trying to do their best when it comes to especially Superman right now. And I'm sure, once we get more of an idea of what some of these other logos are going to look like, we're going to have concept artists just like working overnight to give us some pretty cool stuff. And obviously, we're anxiously awaiting the new Superman suit, and we're probably not going to get it for a little bit. I don't suspect we won't get it until they have to shoot things outside. I'm pretty sure that they're thinking ahead. Hopefully, James Gunn is thinking ahead, like, okay, once we shoot outside, we better just release an image of the suit, because there's going to be somebody that's going to spoil it right here. But we got Mr. Job Hutz, who has made some awesome concept art when it came to previous iterations of the costume, showing different variations, and one in particular that a lot of people are actually digging. And then of course he added the new logo, but now he's got this one right here. This is pretty cool. So full on art right there of the chest, showing like the texture, showing the logo. Now who knows if this is actually what it's going to look like when it comes to the cape going into the costume, how it is in the costume. But yes, I just thought that was really cool right there, because the logo just like looks pretty cool. I'm not sure if is the logo going to actually look like that around the Superman boobies. Is it going to go around the Superman, have all the indentations of the Superman boobies? I don't know. Or is it just going to be just flat out? Because that's what I loved when it came to Cavill's suit. The emblem was mainly like it didn't really crease into that, but when it came to the black suit, it really dug into that a little bit more. Like you really saw like the indentation of the of the Superman cleavage. I don't know. I just like how the emblem can actually do that. Like I'm looking at the McFarlane right now of it. And it doesn't really crease in there like that. But I do like it when the logo actually goes in within the cleavage of the hero. I know I've been saying cleavage way too much. I got a problem. But, it just looks pretty cool. But I just really like that art right there. So good on you, Mr. Hutz, for making that art. I just thought that was really, really, really cool. Stephanie, you said yawn? Why are you yawning? You don't like it? What's going on? It's not that. It's cool. It's cool. We got a new Superman suit logo coming out. I know, right? Something on my mind. Yeah, I want a motorboat Superman. Apparently, that's what's happening. I want a motorboat Superman. All right. Anyways, all right. Enough talking about Superman cleavage. Let's go ahead and get to the main topic at hand. Let's see. Let's make sure I got some things here that we're going to be talking about. Oh, yeah. Can't forget that stuff. Okay. All right. Let's see right here. Okay. From the DCEU to the DCU. Now, a lot of people are confused by what's happening when it comes to this whole transition into the two different universes. And sometimes I just kind of go like, well, I guess you could take the approach, if you want to look at it in a certain way when it comes to specifically when it comes to Peacemaker. Just look at it kind of how what's happening over there with Daredevil Born Again, because that was technically a different kind of universe. It wasn't exactly the MCU when it was on Netflix, and now they're trying to transition it into the MCU. And I guess that's what's kind of happening over here too. I don't know. Yes. To me, again, I will always say this is I don't think there should be a Peacemaker season 2. I honestly don't think there should be, because I enjoyed the first Peacemaker. I was pleasantly surprised by it, because I thought, really, Peacemaker? You're going to make a series on that? Why? But then I watched it and I actually enjoyed it. So when it came to continuity, and then of course people that are just like, it is kind of funny when I see people that are like confused by it and complaining about it. I just kind of go like, did you even watch Peacemaker season 1? Seems like the people that are like more confused or don't care or don't ever didn't even watch the first Peacemaker. So are they even going to care about this Peacemaker? And when it comes to the first Peacemaker, honestly, there's nothing except for Amanda Waller that has like a big tie to the bigger universe. Yes, they had the Justice League scene that happened in the finale of the first season, and it had, of course, Ezra and it had Jason Momoa. But when I think about Peacemaker ever talking to the Justice League again, I don't see that ever happening, because do you see Peacemaker lasting for multiple seasons? I don't see Peacemaker lasting for multiple seasons. So to me, I don't think there's ever going to be like an interaction with the Justice League, possibly Superman, because there we have a Superman. And guess what? We didn't see what that Superman looked like. So there's you could just easily do that. We just saw the silhouette of Superman, which of course, when that happened, a lot of us were like, why couldn't it just, okay. But I don't know, when it comes to a connection to it, it's like, okay, so it just seems like the people that are mainly like that are having a big deal about this aren't going to actually watch season 2 and probably didn't watch season 1. So, and I don't think there's going to be a huge connection when it comes to this. But yeah, when it came to Mr. Jimmy Gunn's right here. Sorry, just making sure I found the right one right here. This is what he was saying right here. So somebody was posting about Jennifer Holland, of course, his wife that we saw in that video earlier, looking sweaty, confirming that there's going to be a summer start for Peacemaker season 2. He said, the source is kind of iffy, but this is true. John Cena shared this on Howard Stern last week. To answer your follow-up questions, yes, we'll be shooting Superman and Peacemaker simultaneously. Yes, I've written all the episodes, but no, in the interest of getting the show out there, I won't be able to direct them all. Only some. And yes, Waller's still happening, and Jeremy and Crystal are hard at work writing great stuff, but the schedule was impacted by the strike, so it'll come after Peacemaker. So we have Peacemaker coming after Superman, and then Waller coming after Peacemaker. And then, of course, following this up right here, when somebody was actually saying, originally said Waller was Peacemaker season 1.5. Is this still true, and Waller will be some kind of prequel, or will it now take place after the events of season 2? Everything in Waller will take place after Peacemaker. So we got that as well. And then somebody was even asking right here, but Peacemaker killed Flag, and Augie still is that still James Gunn? Peacemaker, what a joke, should always be a part of him, especially that Harley and Flag Sr. would have both a sickly grudge on the douchebag because of Flag Jr.'s murder. Many strands will remain consistent, yes, insofar as Peacemaker's story goes. So there you go. So there's going to be some, not all. And like I said, it's going to be like, I guess, how Daredevil is. Again, see, my whole thing is like, just, there doesn't need to be another Peacemaker. That's my whole thing. But I'm like, all right, I enjoyed the first one. I'll watch this one and whatever. So I don't think that when it comes to the broader world and multiple different heroes, that Peacemaker is going to like have any kind of communication or even talk to those heroes or whatever, like whatever, you know? And again, it's just like, the bad part about it is like, it's just, Peacemaker came at the point where there's like this bridge of like, what the hell is happening with the DCEU? What in the hell is happening with the DCU? That's the bad part. And that's why when we were trying to figure out that bridge. And then there's another thing that we'll talk about when it comes to James Gunn. But when they were trying to figure out that bridge, it's like, okay, we still have a Flash movie coming out. We still have an Aquaman movie coming out. So, hey, let's get Momoa. Let's get Ezra. And we'll put them in the finale, but nobody else. And remember, there was supposed to be the entire Justice League. We did not see Batman or Cyborg. They were supposed to be there, but they got removed. We saw the people that were in the costumes that were supposed to be those characters. Obviously, the whole group was there, but with everything that was happening when it came to Warner Brothers and everything that was going on, it was such a fucking shit show that, to be honest, I would like to even forget that interaction between Peacemaker and all them. A lot of people didn't like it anyways. Again, the people who are like mainly confused did not even like mainly confused and complaining didn't even like that interaction either. I personally could care less about it. Because I was like, okay, yeah, they did the fish fucker joke. Okay, big deal, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's hilarious. Okay, it's whatever. It's whatever to me. But it's like, yeah, we'll just, I would like to forget that, you know. But there is that aspect of now we got Rick Flag Sr. joining this universe. And it's like, well, yeah, Peacemaker killed Junior. So got to be something that's going to go on there. And that's what I kind of wonder because Mr. What's his name? That's playing Rick Flag Sr. Of course, again, my brain is not working correctly today. He's been talking about doing live action stuff that he can't talk about, stuff that he cannot talk about, and getting into like, I mean, Jesus Christ, he posted like an image where he was like getting into like super, super shape. And so I'm just kind of wondering, like, is there going to be an aspect of Rick Flag Senior in Peacemaker season 2? There's got to be, right? There's got to be some kind of, and maybe there's even going to be a conflict there. Maybe that's going to be the main conflict while something else is also happening. I don't know. Rick Flag Sr. seeking revenge for his son in season 2. That seems like that'd be a cool way to go. It'd be a cool way to go if that happens. So anyway, so there's that whole thing when it comes to that. But then there was like another thing too. Well, there's a couple of things. But one other thing, too, when it came to a lot of discussion, when it came to all this. It says right here, and thank you to DCU Updates. They're the ones that are always like making the screenshots and providing them on Twitter. So when it comes to James Gunn being hired for Superman, there's always been like, okay, what is actually happening? What was actually happening when he got hired on for obviously Suicide Squad? They wanted him to do a Superman. He didn't want to do a Superman. He did Suicide Squad. Okay, so we did all that. And then we have this right here that says like James Gunn was hired by Mike DeLuca for Superman, and the project was always separate from the DCEU like the Batman. What? Plot thickens. And he even said it right here. Was Superman going to be part of the DCEU, or was it separate like the Batman? Always separate. Mike DeLuca, of course, when he said, curious of like who hired him right there. So Mike DeLuca. Remember at one point, again, we always we're trying to choose these like saviors that thought they were going to restore the Snyderverse. And it seemed like Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi were going to try to preserve as much of the Snyderverse as possible. But they were like, well, we don't know if we can. We got Henry back and we got Black Adam. We're going to bring him back for Black Adam. And Dwayne Johnson and his crew, Garcia and everybody are going to try to be like when it comes to DC Studios, they're going to try to get that job for DC Studios and get that head and continue with a Rockverse. Again, we must remember that it was going to be the Rockverse. It wasn't going to be like the Snyderverse. There's going to be some Snyderverse in there, like some of the actors, sure, but it was going to be Dwayne Johnson. It was going to be the Rockverse. I talked about this when this was all happening. It was going to be the Rockverse. And a lot of people, that loud minority in the Snyder fandom, hated everything about Cavill's cameo in Black Adam, and people did not go out to see that movie, so therefore it didn't make the money that they wanted. So once it didn't make the money and it didn't make, it failed to reach any kind of expectations, they decided, you know what? We're not gonna do this now. And now James Gunn, your Superman movie, now we got to make a universe on that. It's just what happens. It's what happens. That's, according to my information, yeah, that's what happens. That's what happened. And it sucks because Henry Cavill got screwed again. It's like he got screwed yet again. And that's what always sucks about that. That's what always sucks. But the only way that he was going to continue as Superman is if Black Adam was successful and they were going to build a universe around Black Adam and all that stuff and go this way, which would have had remnants of Snyderverse, but it wouldn't have been exactly Snyderverse. But when that movie failed to do the numbers that they wanted it to, they were like, all right, James Gunn, your Superman script that you were writing that wasn't going to be like a huge expanded universe, we're going to expand on that universe. Yeah. What could he do? What could he do? I think DeLuca and Abney used, they tried to use Cap, and that's what also made me mad about that too. That whole situation, RJ, is the fact that they used Cavill to try to boost Black Adam. They were hoping that they were going to especially after the Snyderverse and that phenomenon, they were hoping that, that it was going to, that a lot of those fans were going to go out to the theater, but a lot of those fans were like, fuck no. They didn't want it like that, so then, therefore, didn't get the numbers. You got to think of it in a business sense. You really do. You got to think of it in a business sense. And they, and I'm not saying that it wasn't smart to try to do that, but you got to think of about that in a business sense. And that's what they thought that they might have had, but they sadly didn't. And nobody showed up. Not nobody showed up, but a lot of people just didn't show up. I mean, it ended up still doing better numbers than the movies that came out this year, which was kind of funny. That was always kind of funny when it came to that, but... And then even James Gunn, is the cape going to be long or short? Somebody actually asked James Gunn, please make his cape a little longer. And he responded, how do you know how long the cape is? Do you want him walking on it? Well, I prefer Superman to have a long cape. Obviously, I forget that Christopher Reeve's cape was actually short. It went down to I guess the back of his knees. I think that's a pretty good length. Nothing wrong with that. And of course, All-Star Superman, we've talked about how his cape is short. The Flesher one, also short. I'm thinking that he's going to have a short cape. I just think to the back of his knees, probably good. And the way that James Gunn said that right there makes me believe that, yes, it's not going to be on the ground. It's not going to be how Zack did it when it came to Man of Steel, BVS, and all that. And I know, Zack gave us some just awesome cape porn, but hopefully we could still get some cape porn when it comes to a shorter cape. Might be able to. We'll see what happens. But yeah, he also said that too. All right, let's get off the Superman and cape talk. I know, I'm wondering if the yellow S is going to be on there. I think it might be. Ugh, this thing's not working. Come on. There we go. All right. Let's recap the Oscars. Man, there's way too much to talk about. I mean, geez, this segment might go on for a little bit. Hopefully not too much, but man, how are we feeling about the Oscars last night? I mean, yeah, I was kind of doing a little bit of live tweeting. Like I said, I was at Mama Film Junkie's house and we were watching it. But yeah, I was kind of doing some live tweeting when it came to the Oscars. Nothing too crazy. I wasn't doing every little thing. But, when it came to the Oscars, well, you know what? Apparently it was, when it comes to ratings, well, it was the best rated Oscars in the last 4 years. And I will give it to this show that it was better than the last 4 years, probably for a little bit. It actually was pretty good. And, I know when it comes to Jimmy Kimmel being a host, I think I'm kind of when it comes to him. I think he's funny, but also his jokes miss. I'm kind of in the middle when it comes to Jimmy Kimmel. I've never been a huge fan of Jimmy Kimmel, so it's whatever. So, I'm kind of in the middle when it came to him. I thought some of his jokes were pretty good. I did not think that, the jokes about Robert Downey Jr. and, his drug use back in the day, maybe that was a little bit much, but then at the same time, I appreciate that he actually went there. but it seemed like Robert Downey Jr. was a little uncomfortable when it came to that. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just looking a little too into this, but I know a lot of people were not liking his jokes when it came to at least that part in Robert Downey Jr., but, you know, hey, I guess... I mean, the first joke I kind of laughed at, but then when it kept going, I went, all right, trying to move it along, but it's whatever. But I think the biggest thing, the best thing I would probably even say too, when it came to the Oscars last night, was Ryan Gosling performing I'm Just Ken. Now, I've talked about, many times, because not many times, but I've when it comes to Barbie, and then when it was getting the awards recognition, I was kind of ranting off. I have a whole video on my channel you can go back and watch, where I kept on saying that this is not that movie, because I still think this. I've seen Barbie, that I feel that it's just like it's a long Saturday Night Live sketch, and I still think that. I still very much think that. I get it. It's a culture phenomenon, and it was the biggest movie of 2023. It got people out in droves to the movie theater. Fantastic. Totally 100% believe that. But at the same time, when it was getting the award stuff, and I was like, it's not that movie. It's not that movie. And now that we've seen how many awards it won, yes, it was not that movie. But it's still it's in the zeitgeist of pop culture. The Oscars is out there, obviously. So it did fit in the Oscars in a way that I thought showed that, yes, this is where it fit. It fits. It did not fit when everybody was all saying that, oh, it's going to win, production design, costume, and stuff like that. And Poor Things got it, which, if you watch Poor Things, it's almost like a more artsy-fartsy kind of Barbie-esque kind of movie. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But Poor Things was taking a lot of those awards that a lot of people were thinking Barbie was going to get. And I thought, yeah, no, it shouldn't. Barbie should not have won that either. What it should have won, and should be a part of when it comes to the Oscars, is, yes, this performance by Ryan Gosling for I'm Just Ken. Now, I was kind of going like, man, he's got to do this? Well, that's going to be interesting. And guess what? He fucking killed it. It was great. And I love the fact that Billie Eilish's song, whatever it's called, I totally forgot what the song's called, but I'm glad that won the Academy Award, because that's a great song and it fits in the movie perfectly. Where you kind of go, you get a little choked up. But all I'm saying is just like, yeah, that's where it fit. It fit perfectly in the Oscars, to the fact that it only won just the Billie Eilish Award. Well deserved, but it didn't need to win all the other stuff. And if anybody thinks that it was robbed, the movie made like $1.45 billion. It got a lot of awards. It got a big time award when it came to money and the people involved. And that's okay. Poor Things did not. So let Poor Things get the statues, because it didn't get the box office. It got a fraction of the box office. Okay. So and that's fine. But yeah, Ryan Gosling killed it, man. See, I think we, yeah. I mean, I can't watch the whole thing, but we could watch the opening, which I thought was just pretty cool right here. I mean, it started off great, sitting in his chair right behind Margot. I mean, look at her face. I like how he shakes his head right there. Come on. That's pretty good. But yeah, we won't have to watch the whole thing because I'll probably get a copyright. But I mean, it was pretty freaking awesome. And of course, the other Kens showing up, that was pretty cool too. It was a good performance. I still think Ryan Gosling can't sing. He can't. But hey, it's part of the whole thing. It's part of what Barbie is, What I was made for. Okay, that's what the song was called. Thank you, Scott. Good to see you. They should have brought back Joe Coy. Well, Axel, there's no bringing back. He hosted the Golden Globes. He didn't host the Oscars. But, yeah, I don't think they would want to bring in Joe Coy after what happened with him. People forget that Gosling. Yeah, no, he was like a part of the Mickey Mouse Club and everything like that. Production companies will save money over awards. Yeah, I love to see Spielberg host or Quentin. Really, you want directors hosting an award show? That's interesting. I don't know if I'd want directors unless they had like a bunch of directors do that. I will say this, when it came to them presenting for the actor categories, I love the fact that they brought back the last year's actor, and then they brought back 4 previous actors. I thought that was really cool. And instead of just, coming out again and saying something, and then, of course, talking about the nominees, each one of them praised one nominee. I thought that was really cool, and I hope they continue doing that. I thought that was cool. So there's that. And then, well, come on, man. This is absolutely fantastic right here. Yeah. -1, baby. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Godzilla -1 is an Academy Award winning film. That is great. That is absolutely, that's just, I mean, that how does that not warm your heart? It's pretty crazy. It's crazy how this movie, again, I can't talk about it enough. I mean, you saw my review, you heard me talk about it. It was like I put it at like number 2 of my favorite movies of last year. The fact that Godzilla -1 won for best VFX, because I thought it was like, okay, it was either going to be down to that or the creator. I was like, okay, which one is it going to be? That one or the creator? Because creator had some just phenomenal VFX, but so did -1, and I love that. I love that -1 got the VFX nom right there. And then of course it's weird because I see people that hate James Gunn so much that were happy that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 didn't win. I don't think anybody thought that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was going to win. Can we relax? You guys are getting obsessed. Okay, go outside. I saw that on my timeline. I'm like, you don't need, I don't think anybody thought, I don't think James Gunn or anybody at Marvel thought that they were going to win. I don't think, but, people were celebrating that. And I'm just like, okay, well, he might not have won that, but the man is making a Superman film in Norway. And did you see how hot his wife is? I don't know. I'm just saying, I think he kind of won some, he won some things right there. Anyways. And apparently 16 million VFX budget. Okay, that wasn't the entire budget. I think a lot of people were thinking that was the entire budget. And then we had this. And this is the question I asked at the beginning of the stream. Would you, on the biggest stage, if was asked, would you show up on it naked? There he is. There's our Peacemaker. There's Margot. What in the hell? All right. I was like, whoa. A naked John Cena at the Oscars. It's kind of funny because, I was like, it's kind of a funny bit because they were talking about the streaker that showed up. It's been like 40 years. It's like the anniversary of a streaker showing up on stage of the Oscars, that literally, ran behind. I forgot who it was. And, so they decided to do that. And who better than to have John Cena kind of, do an homage, I guess, to that right there. And, they did a good job of like, is he really naked? Because, my God, you can't see any kind of whatever. But, of course, he was wearing some, he's not going to be fully naked on stage. But, Jesus Christ, that was pretty damn close. So, yeah, they did that. And then, it's kind of funny because, of course, the conspiracies. And I love it. I love conspiracies, guys. I absolutely do. When I go down, when I'm like scrolling through like my shorts or the TikToks or even Twitter, the conspiracies come out and they say like, oh, this is John Cena's humiliation ritual or something like that. I don't know if you guys seen those tweets or heard about that, but apparently like when it comes to getting into the Illuminati, which to be honest, I would think that John Cena is already in the Illuminati already, but every actor has to go through like a humiliation ritual. And I'm just kind of going like, do you think that motherfucker's humiliated? Have you seen his body? Dude's got fucking abs and muscles and everything, and he made Margot Robbie blush. I don't think he's humiliated right there. I don't know about you, but I don't think there's any kind of humiliation. I think it's like, hey, guess what? I'm in my 40s, and look at how jacked I looked. I don't think there's any humiliation. And they did a pretty good job when they put that dress on him right there, but I don't know. Frat pledge? Yeah, there could be that. But I'm just saying, like, I would not be humiliated. I'm like, hey, if you got the muscles and stuff like that, I just say next year we got to have a female do it. Hey, equality, guys. Okay? Next year, let's have a female do something like that, okay? We got to make it equal. We got to make it equal, guys. I'm just saying. All right, and then we had another cool little bit when it came to the Oscars last night, and you guys know which bit I'm talking about. You know which one I'm talking about. That's right. We got Mr. Freeze, and we got the Penguin up here, or the twins, and then, of course...
He's here.
I hate him.
There he is. He's right
Look
here.
at that. Look at that.
He's right here. Look.
He's right
You
there.
have
Look at
a
that
lot of
stare.
nerve to show your face.
Oh, yeah, you got,
Son of a
you
bitch.
are a real beef
There it is.
breaker.
Yes.
I'm gonna see you after the governor's ball.
You better believe it.
Look at that face. Look at that mean face. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else when they see this shot of Keaton? Anybody else thinking Bruce Wayne? Batman Beyond? That's what they should have done, man. You see that right there? You just see Bruce Wayne, Batman Beyond right there. That's what I see. My God. Did they miss that opportunity? But yeah, I love it when he does the finger
Real
motion.
beef breaker.
Look at that. Come on. That's just good. It's just good right there. And it's like, again, as much as I enjoyed The Flash, I wish they just would have went the Batman Beyond route instead of that. And I'm like, it's a missed opportunity right there. Just a missed opportunity. But it's okay. It's fine. And we got some art. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's up here. You know, so we have some art as well that I saw that I picked up. Where's the other one? Hold on a sec. I thought I had two. Where's the other one? I got too many tabs open and they're not in a good order. Looks like I missed that one. All right. Well, too bad. Oh, no, it's right there. Okay, so here's the first one. Somebody made this right here. Batman Notes made that right there, which I thought was pretty funny. They put the heads on them right there. That was pretty good. And then, of course, we have art right here, MD. I'm not exactly sure who that is, but, of course, he said, come on. So thought that was pretty cool art right there. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love those little bits right there. And then, of course, yeah, and then speaking of, like, Madam Web, I even told you there was two jokes. Kimmel had one at the beginning, and what's his name? God, my God, names are just not in my brain right now. The other comedian also made a joke about it too. So there was that, and then yeah, I'm totally just blanking on his name. They also did John Mulaney. Thank you. Jeez, I was like John, and I was like John Krasinski. No, John. I was like, geez, I don't know why. Just names are just not coming to me today. But then, of course, they did a cool little thing where they talked about they honored stunt crews and did a whole montage of stunts from last year, or stunts altogether, just like the history of stunts and all the way back to Buster Keaton and everything. I thought that was really cool. But it's like, hey, can we actually get a stunt category in this goddamn fucking show, huh? I mean, it was great that they did that. They honor the stunt crew, but let's get an actual category with these guys, please. And then, of course, another big, not controversy, but I guess you could say a lot of people were going like robbed. A lot of people are saying robbed when it came to Oscars. Was a big one was the animated movies that Across the Spider-Verse did not win, and it was the Son of Heron or whatever the hell, that anime that a lot of people were praising. And it was kind of funny because I was like, well, I mean, I didn't see the other one, but You know, I love Spider-Verse, and apparently, you know, of course, what's his name who does the voice for Miles Morales? He was like going off on social media saying robbed, but it's like, hey, you know, what can you do? I mean, sometimes when it comes to anime, that's a whole other stratosphere of just people just love that shit. And that was the one with Robert Pattinson, like the voice of like a bird. It didn't even sound like, he sounded like Willem Dafoe, which was pretty crazy right there. So there was that. So that a lot of people were talking about that. And before we talk about the main winners, there was a little bit of controversy. There was a little controversy when it came to apparently, and I'm not sure, again, this is something reported, which was kind of like, you kind of go, yikes. Actors. Yeah, I know they want to be good people, and, you know, they try to show that they're good people, but sometimes you just kind of go, like, when you hear stuff like this, you go, yeah, well, that's why they always say never meet your heroes kind of thing, especially if they're celebrities or, you know, actors, something like this. But apparently this was reported right here. Emma Stone in the lobby bar with Florence Pugh, when a naked John Cena crosses the Oscar stage. Pugh turns around dramatically and says, "Who is he streaking for? Everyone is out here." Then, when Poor Things wins for best costumes, Emma groans loudly, "We are missing every one of these," visibly upset when they thank her specifically and she's not in the auditorium to hear it. So, I mean, it's just it kind of makes you wonder just how many of these stars are actually sitting in their seats when all the small awards, you know, all the awards where people had to help make the movie and help make them look good on screen, were getting their awards. And as much as I love Emma Stone and Florence Pugh, yeah, you just kind of go like, well, they still are celebrities. They're royalty, essentially. And you just kind of go like, I hope that's not true, but I saw that and I was like, it would make sense. I would not be surprised. Sadly, breaks my heart because I'm in love with those two, but hey, it's just sometimes these celebrities don't really, yeah, they're out they're out at the bar getting wasted, I guess, but hey, you know, it's whatever. Maybe that wasn't true, but that was just something I saw right there. And then, of course, so when it came to Poor Things, like I said earlier, I was glad that it was getting some of these awards. It was like starting to clean house, which I was like, great, because like I said, I watched it the night before and I was like, yeah, that movie is beautifully shot. It's a fucking weird movie. But when it came to Emma Stone and her performance in Poor Things, and I recommend everybody watching it. Now, I thought Lily Gladstone was going to win. But then again, I didn't see all the movies. But I knew it was down to her and Emma Stone. And I was going, all right, at least I have to watch Poor Things. I have to watch Poor Things because I don't want to go into, because I know it's going to be down to those two. So I gotta watch Poor Things, and you know, it's out on Hulu. Fine, I'm gonna watch it, and I watched it, and yes, beautifully shot. But her performance, wow. So I immediately, because I was going Lily Gladstone all the way, because I thought she did great in Killers of the Flower Moon. But then when I saw Emma Stone, and just, she took it to another level. She took that movie, her performance in that movie, she took it to a whole other level. Nothing against Lily Gladstone, and I know a lot of people were like rooting for her, but I think a lot of people that didn't even see this performance over here. But then again, it's all subjective, whatever. But yeah, I immediately changed to Emma Stone, and you know, obviously I get certain things when it comes to, I'm not even going to get into that. Not even going to get into that when it comes to ethnicity and skin color and all that stuff. We're not going to, I just strictly look at performance. And Emma Stone knocked it out of the park. So when she won, I was like, yes, I thought she deserved the statue. And nothing against Lily Gladstone, she's new. Emma Stone's been around for a little bit. So Lily Gladstone's going to have another crack at it. 100%. She's not going anywhere, which is good, which is great. And then, of course, Oppenheimer started winning again. You know, obviously, yeah, when it came to more of the technical stuff, obviously Oppenheimer, cinematography, score, editor, all that stuff, which was great. It was like, yes, obviously then, you know, Oppenheimer was going to be winning a bunch of stuff. And of course, Robert Downey Jr. winning. We already kind of talked about that. That was great speech that he had. And then, of course, Christopher Nolan, Best Director. I mean, come on. the fact that he does not have any statues, and he got two last night. That was what was great, was the fact that he got 2 statues, obviously best picture, best director, being a producer on there. And man, it's just crazy because he was nominated for Memento, his first, well, not his first movie. He had a movie prior to that, but it was a movie that put him on the map. And when it comes to me, I mean, I'll say I'm even a little biased because he's one of my all-time favorite directors. When I saw Memento for the first time, and I saw it before he got Batman Begins. Before he got Batman, I saw Memento. I remember getting it on DVD. It was like after I graduated high school. I think it was like that first year out of high school. I heard about that movie and heard about the movie being like, oh yeah, it's a movie in reverse. And I was like, I'm intrigued. And when I watched it, it floored me. And I was like, that's still one of my favorite movies. And it is my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. And the fact that he got nominated for, I think it was the best original screenplay. Yeah, it was the best original screenplay for that movie. Been a fan, and it's just crazy that I remember him being nominated for that. And then all throughout, for the last 20 years, he's been nominated, but just never won. Just never won because there was just always something out there that was just a little bit better. And now he finally won, and his movie just like cleaned house. And you know what else I got to say? How you feeling, Warner Brothers? Huh? How you feeling, huh? How we feeling, huh? Remember when you passed up Oppenheimer? And Christopher Nolan said, screw you guys, I'm going to head over to Universal. How you feeling, Warner Brothers? Yikes. God, they must have just, you could just imagine like how they were feeling when it came to like all the awards and all the recognition and even the box office. The fact that you have this film that won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, congratulations, Cillian Murphy, Best Supporting Actor, have all these awards won, and the fact that it also was a blockbuster hit. It almost made $1 billion. Ouch! Salt in the wound, man. That's what you get. To get for being stupid. Of course, different regime now, but, still making weird decisions. It's like, that was funny. That was funny. But good on Nolan. Good on everybody. So, and Charles Roven. Yeah, Charles Roven. He was producer on Man of Steel, BVS, Justice League. I mean, it was cool to see him up there. I mean, it's just one of those things. But you know what? I'm not losing hope on Warner Brothers. I mean, obviously things might change, and Zazzy Pants might not be leading it anymore, and there might be a merge or a selling or something like that. Who knows? But it'd be cool. They hopefully, they can get him back, get Christopher Nolan back, try to get him back. We'll see what happens, but. Yeah, third highest grossing Best Picture. Yeah, no, see, that's the thing. It's like sometimes the Best Picture movies might not be big blockbusters, but the fact that, bam, it's up there. I mean, I'm sure like Lord of the Rings is probably number 1, right? Yeah, but I'm just happy for everybody involved when it comes to that. And it was just kind of funny to be like, what is the whole thing? What? Wait. I have the drop. Wait. Where's it at? No, I don't have it. Damn it.
Fucking hard fact.
Well, I got that one. I don't have the Suck It Warner Brothers. Damn it. I don't have that right here. Damn it. I wish I did. Ah, well. I have that on the other. Or wait. Right there? Nah, I don't have it there either. Oh, well. It's all good. Anyways, okay. Let's talk about box office. Now, we were all kind of wondering what was going to be happening with Dune Part 2, because great word of mouth. Seems like people are just going out to movie theaters, and specifically IMAX theaters. Apparently, when it comes to the box office, it's always going to be obviously a small chunk, but it's still a pretty good chunk. But I read today that IMAX theaters, when it comes to IMAX ticket sales, $72 million. That's to the budget, or to the gross of Dune Part 2 when it comes to IMAX. So that's cool. $72 million currently right there. So that's pretty sweet. But sadly, We got Kung Fu Panda 4. Naturally, kids film, 4th in the franchise. That one took the top spot when it came to the box office over the weekend. And, I totally, it makes sense. It's currently at 81.7 worldwide. But, Dune Part 2, if you notice right there, 44% drop. 44%! That is a low second weekend drop. There you go. You'll love to see that. And it currently sits at $369.6 million. Look at that. It's already outgrossed its domestic gross. From the first one, I mean. Yeah, so the first one didn't make that much. Well, again, it was during a bad time. But creeping up on 400 million. I hope it gets past 500 million. Maybe it'll keep going. I don't know. But only a 44% drop domestically from that weekend to this weekend. And I'm like, yes. The spice is running strong with this one. Let's not fear the box office. Fear's the mind killer. Why did Titanic didn't win BP? Did it not win? Did it not win Best Picture? I thought it did. Titanic did not win? That's right, Titanic. Yeah. So, yeah, Titanic, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Yeah. That's interesting. Wait, did it? It did, right? I don't know. Yeah, it did. Duh. That's what you're talking about, Scott. I don't know. I was looking at Stephanie's like, why did I think Titanic didn't win? I was like, it didn't win? Yeah, it did. Duh. Yeah, I remember that year. And then, of course, it made over $1 billion, too. That was a culture phenomenon right there. Rebel Moon, baby. Let's talk a little bit about Rebel Moon. And, we got a new image. And we got some quotes from Zack right here. Nothing, too crazy. But, of course, the marketing for Rebel Moon Part 2 is going to start kicking into gear here. We'll start seeing Zack being interviewed again. And hopefully see him on the Vodka stream fairly soon. But we got some Empire Magazine things that are happening. So check this out. There she is. There's the Scar Giver right there showing up in this image right here. Let's see. Up. There we go. Up. Now scroll. There you go. So there she is right there. Shorter hair, doing something, shooting something. Rebel Moon Part 2. The Scargiver is an emotional roller coaster, says Zack Snyder. Exclusive image. So right here, what does he have to say? He says, it's a war film, 100%. It's got way more action than the first movie, very intense and crazy action, and his hopes are that having spent time bringing our heroes together, there will be emotional fireworks amid the battles, seeing them lay their lives on the line to save the day. It's absolutely an emotional roller coaster you're going to be on with these cats. We discover the backstories of our heroes, and there is an interesting correlation between what's happened to most of them to make this battle cathartic and symbolic. So there you go. That's pretty much it right there. It's a little Rebel Moon update right there. Obviously, Zack has talked about the director's cuts, which I know some people are just waiting for the director's cuts. Not me. I'm going to watch Part 2. Curious to see where it goes, and the fact that it's a full-on war movie. It's kind of funny because it is kind of in the same sense of how Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2 is. I mean, they're both parts. It's one giant story broken up into parts. You establish as much as you can in the first part, so that way the second one, a lot more is happening. That happened with Dune Part 2. There was like a lot more happening when it came to just like the story and war stuff, and a lot more was happening. So that's what I'm hoping for when it comes to this one, and it sounds like that's going to be the case. Now, of course, it's going to be shorter than the first one when it comes to the PG-13 cut. I just can't wait for those R-rated cuts now. When Zack has been talking about them more, and he'll most likely be talking about them more too. He said end of summer this time. The last time you talked about it, I think on the iMinutemen podcast, he said summer, and then he I guess on Rogan he talked about it coming out at the end of summer. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. How who's ever making the decision on to release those. But then again, you have to finish them too. Those are the 2-3 hour long movies, so it's gonna take a lot longer to do that. But it seems like Part 2's in the bag, maybe most of it. Maybe there's some VFX that need to be done, but the director's cuts are what he's focusing on right now, and that's what's going to be interesting is how people react to that, because we'll see if this marketing strategy actually did work. Merchandise, right? I feel like I have to say something, I'll get hated by Dave. Oh, I know. You compared Rebel Moon to Spaceballs, which I don't think I'll ever forgive you for that one. Still can't believe you actually compared it to Spaceballs. I'm like, wow. That was I was like total facepalm when he did that. It's all good. You're a partial Zack Snyder fan. You're a DC Zack Snyder fan. Anyways, okay. All right, let's go to some Twitter questions. And speaking of Axel, we got right here, did some recent drawings of Justice League Mortal. Might draw Aquaman and Kid Flash. Okay, so we got both of them right there. I could see that. I could tell that that's her. That was that armor right there. And then there's some Superman, some Flash. That's pretty cool. And then Eric, hey Dave, we've often talked about how stunt folks need an Oscar category. Do you think that was a shot? You think that was a shot for ever happening? If so, how? If not, why not? Well, they're going to be bringing in casting. They're going to be doing like an award for casting. So I totally think that it could eventually get there. We'll see. Oops. Let's see. Paul. How did Zack Snyder come up with the sounds of the World Engine? I always wanted to know. It had such a cool sound while I was terraforming and when it was shutting off when Superman destroyed it. So that's my question, Dave. I don't know. Was that in the behind the scenes stuff? I don't know if that was in actually the behind the scenes stuff when it came to Man of Steel, because you hear those sounds even in BBS. I don't know if they ever talked about that there. Well, that might be a talking point if we get Zack back on. We got Marcelo right here. Some time ago, James Gunn said that the Flash would act as a reset. People waited and got a weird cameo from Clooney. Now he promises another explanation for why Peacemaker fits in the DCU. At this point, isn't it better for him to say that it's because he wants to and that's it? Somehow I mean, like I said, if you hate James Gunn, you're going to hate it. If you don't, you just accept it. That's why I have you muted. Anyways, Cointreo, G. Hey, Dave, any news on what months Twilight of the Gods and Army of the Dead Las Vegas anime will drop? Still this year? Can you Ask Zack for us? I know he's talked about he's working on Twilight of the Gods. He talked about that at the on the Minutemen podcast. He talked about that he's working on it. When it comes to the Army of the Dead Las Vegas, that's got to be, I don't know. That's the interesting one. That's the interesting one. I'm really dying to know about that one. Mr. Nobody, do you think in James Gunn's DCU they'll build up the dark side like they did with Thanos? I mean, who else can they have on that level? Brainiac is a top contender. Yeah, I mean, there is some Brainiac that could do that. I don't know. Maybe they will. Who knows? Kenneth, super excited for Superman 2025. I want to watch a Superman movie story with hope, optimism, and joy, plus him being kind. I don't want to see another story of him being deconstructed that has been done to death in recent years, aside from TV, animation, and a few of the comics. Yeah, that's fine. I think, like I said, there's got to be a balance. Got to be a balance between Donner and Snyder. Nothing wrong with balancing up. There could be a little bit of deconstruction, I think. I think every hero should have that. But, yeah, there's definitely it's not going to be as much as what Snyder was doing. And there's also Vandal Savage. In any form of media, be it comic books, movies, or TV shows or video games, if we get any someday, Superman has be the paragon of hope and the beacon who can inspire people and most importantly have hope, optimism, and joy, blah, blah, yeah. Which, yeah. I'm sure that's what there's going to be. But, there'll still be a little bit of dark in there, I hope. A little bit like I just look at Superman the Animated Series. I just hope that he could find that. Hey, Dave, was it just me or did Al Pacino accidentally mess things up at the end when he was given the award for Best Producer? Yes, Best Picture. Yeah, that was a weird one. I forgot to mention that. I didn't write that down on the list, but he did actually come out and say, I think, that I have that. No, I don't have that open, but maybe I do. Yeah, right here. Al Pacino addresses Oscars controversy over not naming Best Picture nominees. It was a choice by producers, and I emphasize with those slighted by the oversight. So he's blaming the producers. There seems to be some controversy about my not mentioning every film by the name last night before announcing the Best Picture award. I just want to be clear, it was not my intention to omit them, rather a choice by the producers not to have them said again since they were highlighted individually throughout the ceremony. I was honored to be a part of the evening and chose to follow the way they wished for this award to be presented. Yeah, it was a little strange. And some people were like, is he drunk? What's going on? Is he drunk? It might have been a mix of both. Who knows? The dude's like, what, in his 80s, just had another kid, which is weird. But hey, it was a memorable way of announcing Best Picture. I mean, not in the way that they effed up the whole Moonlight, kerfuffle and La La Land thing that happened with Warren Beatty. Not nearly as bad as that. But yeah. It's so freaking funny. Yeah, it was a little awkward. Devon Wooter, hey Dave, I'm not going to lie. I got emotional for Akira Toriyama when he passed away. He created Dragon Ball Z from manga and anime. Dave, this really hurt me. I'm a big fan of the show. And what's your favorite scene from the movie of 2008? I think I watched bits and pieces of that. But I never got into Dragon Ball Z, so I only watched bits and pieces, and it was bad. It was like Mortal Kombat Annihilation bad. I love when John Cena was, naked. That's funny. And let's see, we got Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, question 1. Would you have wanted Peacemaker Season 2 to end the DCEU or have a fourth wall breaking character explain to us, the audience, what's changed throughout the second season? See, they could do something like that. They can always do something like that. Question 2, do you think the dog we saw with Gunn when he was in Norway is going to be Crypto and Superman? I don't think it didn't. That dog, I don't think it looked like a Crypto looking dog. So, and then finally, Dean Parsons, will the Ayer Kerr ever be released? Obviously, he means the Ayer cut. Hopefully one of these days. It's probably going to be like a Donner Superman situation at one point. David Ayer was tweeting about it over the weekend. I even retweeted a couple things, but he has deleted those. I think David Ayer, I don't know if he just gets on a good one or maybe he's just he takes a break from writing and making, maybe pours himself a glass of something, tosses them back, and then gets on Twitter and starts saying things about the Ayer cut. It seems like, and then he, the next day he's like, delete. But then, I could be looking into that a little too much. But yeah, he was tweeting some stuff when it came to that. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be like a Donner Superman situation. Because, yeah, it's not gonna. I was prepared for that happening with the Snyder cut, but the Snyder cut had a little bit more oomph to it. To me, it seems like the Ayer cut just doesn't have as much oomph to it, and Warner Brothers to throw any money at something that potentially that would be cool to put on HBO Max. It just seems like they want to throw money at things that are going to be out in the movie theaters, and they're pinching their pennies. Like I said, we could hope for a few wins. If the DCU gets a couple of box office wins, makes some profits, then maybe some of that can be to, hey, guess what? We have this other Suicide Squad right here that got dicked with. Who knows if it's going to happen, but I don't know. Also, why the fuck was there a dog clapping at the Oscars? That was messy. There was a whole controversy with that, dude. And they just did that whole little bit I actually giggled at that. I was like, that's funny. They put the dog clapping. I know. You like, your highbrow comedy. I get it. You're too cool for that, Axel. Looks cool. Rebel Moons needs more merch. A popcorn bucket? I don't know. They don't have a worm for a popcorn bucket. I don't know if they have that. It'll be better than the Donner Cup because Ayer filmed everything he needed. True. That's true. It's funny. He was just confused. Yeah. I mean, did you see the behind the scenes? Behind the scenes, they had like the dude like underneath. They showed a behind the scenes picture and they showed how they achieved that. It was funny because like my mom didn't see it, but then she saw it. Someone, yeah, Messi should have won an Oscar. Yeah, I still have to watch Anatomy of the Fall. I got to watch that. I've heard nothing but good things. But yeah, it was like my mom didn't catch that, but then she saw it on Twitter. She's like, I didn't know the dog. And I was like, yeah, you missed it. It was like right on the screen. They were showing everybody clapping, and then they showed the behind the scenes of like the dude like underneath the chair and like holding it. I'm like, hey, they went all out, man. But yeah, I have to watch that movie. I have to watch that movie for sure to see like what it's all about, because I've heard nothing but good things, of course. So, all right, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for spending time with me talking about all this stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like, thumbs up. Do all that. And subscribe, of course, if you haven't. Hit that notification bell. Follow me on all the sock meds. You want to support the channel. We got the membership thing on here if you want to do that. We got a members only stream after every Wednesday stream. We got the Patreon as well if you want to support on there. I posted a post podcast last night of the Oscars, so go ahead and check that out. And then yeah, guys, do all that. I'll see you guys Wednesday, and yeah, hopefully we got some more nerdy things to talk about. All right, guys, love ya. Talk to you later.